Question I get a lot is, what do I actually do as a therapist online for Achilles tendinopathy rehab? And what can I do better than what you get in the in-person world? And the truth is pretty simple. I've been in the online world for the past 2.5 years, and I spent most of my time in my career, the last 7 years, in the clinic. So I understand what is happening in the clinic day to day, and I understand the goals behind what is going on. In the clinic, volume is key. You have therapists that are seeing upwards of 50, 55, 60 plus visits per week. Which, if you think about it, if they schedule you for an hour, you go in, you drive your 20-minute commute to the clinic, the bike, walk on the treadmill, some warm up. And then you get to see your PT, who will probably do some hands-on stuff, right? Maybe some scraping, maybe some cupping, some dry needling, shockwave potentially. And then that's about it. They give you the same program, like, all right, cool, yeah, go ahead and start with your stretches, then go ahead and, hey, we'll do calf raises next. And you just decided to drive 20 minutes there, pay your $20, $30, $40, $50 copay, get rubbed down a little bit, and then do the same exact program you've been doing for the last 8 weeks. Is that therapist bad at their job? No. The problem is what's happening on a systemic level is they're taught and scheduled to see 2 to 3 patients at a time so that they can build an appropriate amount of units to just cover the clinic's cost and get them the small amount of profit on top of what they have to do cost-wise after insurance reimburses. Insurance reimbursement is only going down, which is why your premium is going up and the coverage is going up and you're getting a copay now. And again, been there, done that on both sides of the coin as a patient and as a therapist and a clinic manager. So when it comes to the virtual side and the online coaching side, I get more leverage as a therapist because I don't have to schedule you for an hour slot twice a week. What I can actually do is spend that time programming, assessing, answering your questions on the fly. That way you're doing more of the right stuff in between our chats rather than having to wait to come in for your hour session to ask questions. You get me in your back pocket to answer those questions for you. Can't tell you how many times in the clinic I would have a client who would be doing well. They would come back 4 days in between sessions, not a long time. And they would say, yeah, I did the exercises. Okay, great. Let's run through them. And they would be just a disaster. And it's because at the time, all I had available to me to give them was a piece of paper. Didn't have the cueing, didn't have the coaching, didn't get any feedback in between sessions to make sure you're doing right. So you did the wrong stuff for 4 days in a row. And eventually that didn't sit right with me. There's had to be a better way. I knew I could do better. The online space has allowed me to do that. I can serve at a higher level, faster feedback loops in between sessions, which ultimately means faster progressions while still honoring the soft tissue healing timeline. But striking when the iron's hot, when we're in momentum, we can stay in momentum. And if we fall out of momentum, we can correct the ship a lot faster, not hamstrung by the insurance companies, the therapist having 2 to 3 people in there at a time. So you have to talk to your rehab aide, your tech, who's trying to get in PT school. I've met a lot of great rehab techs, worked with them myself, good people, and can be very, very well versed in the subject, but they are not the therapist. That's what a good PT is supposed to do and be there for, right? And you don't need to be in person to do that. And if you feel like you do, then there's a limiting belief there when it comes to what we can do in the video age. Most people are more than willing and able to capture me a 15-second video of them doing some exercises. Then I can give them a voice note straight back within a couple hours. Hey, this is what I saw, try this next time. It's a little off here in this position. See how you feel. They do it the next day. Boom, feels much better. Cool, we've closed that loop. We've corrected it. And now we can continue to move forward without staying in still water for 6 to 8 weeks where you made some progress, but then insurance is like, you're done, you're functional, you're good, right? You have less pain, maybe a little bit, but then you go to run, then you go to lift, then you go to play ball, and it's like, boom, we're right back in the flare-up cycle. And that's the frustrating part about in-person PT versus what a virtual or online presence can actually do, is we can actually come up with a good plan via very good assessment via video. Done it for 2.5 years. It worked out pretty well. Find out what the hell's happening and then actually build a plan and tailor it on the fly with checkpoints open lines of communication, and an actual forecasting of what's to come each week. So the online versus in person has one major change. It depends on if this is what you feel like you actually need. One major difference. And that difference is the hands-on versus not hands-on approach. I'm not saying manual therapy is bad, has its time and place, can be beneficial, but if that's something you're going to keep going back to because it feels good, then you're not actually looking for a solution at that point. You're seeking comfort. And if that's the case, me and you, probably not a good fit, and that's cool. I'm not here to help you seek comfort. I'm here to give you clarity. I'm here to give you a plan, to coach you on that plan, to progress the plan, and to make you independent in the long term with less pain and returning back to sport, lifting, walking, running, whatever it is you like to do. That's the goal, not just, hey, let's get the pain down. So if that resonates with you and you're tired of the in-person grind, we probably need to have a conversation. If you feel like you need the hands-on approach, by all means, go seek that out. The online world is the next stage when it comes to therapy. It's because it gives you, the consumer, more leverage on your time. It gives the PT more leverage on their end to actually provide a good service to get you the result, which is why you can see all the results here that I've gotten with hundreds of clients at this point. That has been exactly where you are. Tried multiple different things. I've had this for months, years, sometimes a decade plus. It's just a matter if you're willing to accept that you might not know as much as you think, and there's a better way out there. I'd be happy to chat with you further about what it looked like to work together. We talk about investment. We talk about the game plan. We talk about everything on the call. Anything you need to know, I'm going to at least leave you here knowing the in-person grind you've probably been to multiple times isn't the end-all be-all to PT. PT is not just one thing. Now, you go get a PRP injection. Yeah, that's just a PRP injection. PT lives on a spectrum because there's varying approaches. And if you're tired of like just the Band-Aid approaches with hands-on therapy, cushy shoes, orthotics, injections, surgery, let's have a conversation. From that conversation, I want you to basically have one thing after that. You leave with some clarity on what needs to happen next, whether that's with me or not. If that's the case, schedule a call below. Let's have a chat.